Atlanta, Georgia, and it would not be a trip down to Atlanta without having this guy on the program, the longtime voice of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution in regard to all things Falcons, and the longtime beat writer there, and pro football writer, president, and has won tons of awards, more awards than the Falcons are going to win for their play here, maybe not offensively, but certainly defensively. We welcome one of our defending champions, D.Orlando Ledbetter, back on to discuss all things Falcons. We don't get together much with you guys every 4 years and thereabouts, and I know we got a new stadium, a new baseball stadium, a Super Bowl coming up down there y'all are going to be hosting, but this has got to be disappointing to everybody around there, from Matt Ryan and Quinn and Arthur Blank. This has been a real downer of a year because of injuries, right, D?
Yeah, no question about it, Nestor, and thanks for having me on the show once again. Yeah, the Falcons were projected to be a Super Bowl contender, but much like Jacksonville in the AFC, they've fallen flat on their face. They do have injuries, but they have a lot of money on the offensive side of the ball, and the offense should have stepped up and carried the team, but they have not been able to do so.
Yeah, last couple of weeks it's been a lot slower, right? And I remember when Alex Mack signed there, it was such a great signing, and and the Ravens were in need of a center at that point, and he was an expensive one. But there's a lot of elite talent on that side of the ball, and that's probably where this thing gets very, very dangerous for a Ravens team that has bled a little bit defensively lately, has had trouble getting after the quarterback a little bit lately, has had trouble covering down the middle of the field lately. This Julio Jones, this matchup, he's so special and such a difference maker that this is the kind of game these guys could take over down there.
Yeah, no question about it, Nestor. At least through the air, the run game has been, non-existent. But you do have Julio and Calvin Ridley, the rookie, and Mohamed Sanu, the old Bengal. The Ravens folks will remember him from his Bengal days. So they can throw the ball. They can get up yards and put up points. I had 377 against the Saints. 3 red zone fumbles foiled any effort of a upset down there. So, take care of the ball and move it. You're going to have a shot against the Ravens.
I remember us getting together in Indianapolis many, many moons ago, and the Falcons had to pick above the Ravens, and Bisciotti famously, when I wrote the book after Flacco won, everyone said Ryan was the apple of Bisciotti's eye because he wanted that sort of a quarterback, a generational guy, a guy to lead the team. This is fascinating that Joe Flacco's going to go play Matt Ryan. Joe Flacco has the Super Bowl ring. Matt Ryan does not. Joe Flacco's about to be shown the door here. And Matt Ryan still feels very vibrant and very much in the middle of doing whatever he's scripting down there. And I've always felt like at some point he's going to win a ring. And I know they had the 3-touchdown lead a couple of years ago. But Matt Ryan's still chugging along here in that offense. It doesn't feel like it's anywhere near ending there, does it?
No, they just re-upped him. He had $100 million guaranteed contract. The gross was more than that, but 100 of it was guaranteed. And, they plan on playing into the future with him. They know there's a certainty there that if they protect Matt Ryan, they're going to have a chance to win. And they were building a young defense around him, but lost 2 Pro Bowlers and 1 key starter, both safeties, the middle linebacker who may be back this week. And, the defense has just been a patchwork operation over there, and there's been some decline on the line. So they've got to tighten his line up. When they tighten up Matt Ryan's line, he can step up in the pocket and deliver the ball. They're a playoff team and maybe even a championship-level team.
Yeah, it is fascinating that if you just take his statistics this year, right? I'm just looking at it straight, not seeing the record, and I'm saying, well, it's Matt Ryan. We're 11 weeks in. He's played all the games. He's completed 72% of his passes. He's thrown for 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I'd say, well, this is the Matt Ryan I expected when the schedule came out in April, and said, I circled that one and said, boy, we got to go to Atlanta, and then we got to go to Kansas City, and then we got to go to San Diego or Carson or wherever they're playing later on in the month. I would say it'd be a long month, and I'd say this would be the toughest game for the Ravens to win. Boy, Matt Ryan's not a part of the problem there. He's part of the solution, right?
Yeah, no question about it. The line has gone down a little bit. They had to two guards, backup guards are in there. Andy Levitre's out for the season, and so is Brandon Fusco. Ryan Strader's turned 30 and looks like he's slipping a little bit at right tackle. So they haven't been able to open up holes. And then Devontae Freeman is missing, too, on the offensive side of the ball. So, and, he makes plays in the open field. So they've had some injuries on that side of the ball, too. But everybody has injuries. Can't use them as an excuse. But, yeah, Matt Ryan has been quite productive this year, given the problems that they have had and personnel on the offensive side of the ball.
D.Orlando Ledbetter has covered football in the Atlanta Falcons for longer than he probably wants me to admit. D.Orlando AJC, the way to find him out on Twitter, and, of course, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution as well. All of our WNST coverage brought to you by our friends at the Modell Lyric. Check out the website. There's always magic there at the Modell-Lyric.com. I got John Mellencamp on my mind February 20th. My wife has Dancing with the Stars on her mind on January the 10th, and I think everybody had the Beach Boys on their mind this week as well with the Christmas show coming through. Also, our friends at the Lee Tessier team, Baltimore's premier realty team, and the folks that I'm trusting with my real estate transaction, selling our condo right now. You can learn more and see my condo as well at leetessier.com, as well as Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast, the tasty fried chicken, the Western fries, and, of course, when you're using the ROFO rewards card, download that, use the app when you're pumping your gas, and you'll wind up getting your delicious cone of coffee free of charge each and every morning. D.Orlando Ledbetter is our guest. He's in Atlanta. We're getting ready to go down there. D, what am I going to find in the new stadium down there? I know when I had Chris Blake on earlier this week, I pulled up the pricing for, popcorn and chicken tenders and french fries and soda pop and whatever else I'm going to get at the concessions there. Sort of famous for that. Arthur Blank is going about this a different way, and I know you're privy to a lot of the things around there and the problems they had from the Petrino era and even before that and Dan Reeves. They've tried to sort of reinvigorate what the NFL is about and the experience. And part of the problem is the fans aren't sitting in the stands, right? The fans are sort of partying in the bars in this beautiful hotel of a mall of a stadium, right?
Yeah, that's been a problem for them. But, they wanted, they asked the fans what they wanted. Fan-friendly pricing was one of the big things. And, there's some craft, high-level experiences for the fans to partake in. You can, the lounges around the stadium are just as, you can view the game just as visibly from them as you can from your seat. So, yeah, it might look like empty seats or in the stadium, but it's really the people hanging out at the 100-yard bar and Molly B's and some of the other, festive venues that they put into the stadium. Now, if the team was winning and they'd be on top of things, maybe they would be in their seats. So that's part of putting the fans in their seats. They want to maybe drink or eat their troubles away in some of the great restaurants, and folks will enjoy that when they come down for the Super Bowl.
You just said something that I've never heard, and I just have to stop you. The 100-yard bar, like that's sort of a. I don't even know what that is, but I think I know what that is. D, for you with the Ravens coming in here with a quarterback controversy and facing this defense, they're trying to trip up defensive coordinators. They'll be doing this all month as to who's healthy and who's not, and who's playing and who's not. Some thoughts about where the Falcons defense is in stopping a Joe Flacco defense versus whatever this Lamar Jackson hybrid RPO speed to the edge game is. It looks more like rugby.
Yeah, no question about it. It's not NFL football. It's more of a sprint option high school thing where, he's pulling out bootlegging and so forth. So you got to have some man principles, and you need a rover back. You really just match up with what I've seen. I would just match up with an old school, high school 53 monster where the rover back stays with the quarterback, and then everything else just will be a standard 5-3, but you got to take one of your safeties out of play. So, and move him down to follow the quarterback. So it's not a real complex answer, but it's stuff that, pro football players haven't done in a long, long time. So, they got to coach that up, and they might have a secret weapon in Deion Jones, who could be coming back from his broken foot. Very fast middle linebacker who went to the Pro Bowl last year in the second year in the league. So they've got answers for Lamar, and they've got 2 games of tape to study and get ready for.
You know, D, in a broken season, and we've had a few around here, I mean, John Harbaugh hasn't made the playoffs in 4 out of the last 5 years, and we're on the scuffle, and we're in a quarterback controversy and sort of making a mad dash to the finish line. What's going to be made of this mess this year for Arthur Blank and for Dan Quinn and for the organization and Dimitroff in putting this thing back together to some degree? Is it just about getting the defensive guys healthy, or has anyone emerged here to claim a job amidst all of this mess?
Yeah, there have been some players that step forward. Certainly tight end Austin Hooper in his 3rd year in the league has stepped forward. You know, you got a tight end for the future. Rookie Foye Oluokun, and I'm going to mess it up if he's from Yale. He's from Yale in St. Louis. He stepped forward and showed that he can play linebacker for you. So you got that. You got some help in the secondary, and DeMonte Casey, who leads the league in interceptions with 6. So now you know you got 3 safeties and an extra linebacker and a tight end you can lean on moving forward. Those will give you, some other areas to look to in the draft and in the offseason, most notably the offensive line. The one area of major disappointment for them, Nestor, is the defensive ends. Vic Beasley, 2 sacks. Zach McKinley, 5.5 sacks, only has 1 in the last 7 games. And they were hoping those 2 kids would develop into a pass rushing combo, both first-round picks, played well in spurts, but haven't been able to bring the consistent pressure. So that's been one big disappointment. And, a couple other guys have been major upgrades, or at least major surprises where they're getting playing time because of all of the injured players.
Well, the Ravens have not fared well at all against the conference and against the division with the Saints and Panthers as well. We'll see how it turns out this week. D, always a pleasure to have you aboard. I am looking forward to moving into downtown Atlanta for the Super Bowl. I know your city puts on these SEC championships and has hosted World Series and Olympics and all that. This is a pretty cool Super Bowl thing, and I know a real bow for Arthur Blank this time around to get the dome done. And I know they're going to be decorating up the city, and I know they harbored some thoughts of playing in that game, and now that will not be happening. But big-time effort for the Super Bowl down there, right?
Yeah, no question about it. Most importantly, they're going to have the media party at the Georgia Aquarium on Tuesday. That's one thing I was fighting for the PFWA, so that's going to be really nice for our media folks that come into town. Everything's going to be centrally located around the Centennial Olympic Plaza and the stadium venue area. They built a nice entertainment district for, and the hotels will be around there. You can do short shuttle bus rides to the convention center to work. And the nightlife is right around in there, too. So really, once you get to your hotel, there's no need for a car. And then if you have to Uber out, you'll be able to do that. But they have a great venue operation set up for the fans coming in, for the media. And, it's been tested over the last few years with the Final Four and the college football operation.
D, I've got the Google map up right now of Centennial Park. It looks like there's a Waffle House. I'll feel right at home. There's no problem at all, man.
No problem. Yeah, you'd be great.
D, take care of yourself. We will see you Sunday down at the new Dome in Atlanta. I appreciate the preview as always. We'll be following along at the AJC, and we'll see you on Sunday at the game.
Great, Nestor. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to seeing you also, my friend. Take care and have a great day.
Hospitality and enthusiasm and passion and knowledge. There's D.Orlando Ledbetter. D.Orlando AJC, the way to follow him out on Twitter, the longtime Falcons beat writer, as the Ravens bring the 2-headed quarterback monster and controversy and playoffs on the line and all that stuff, along with $2 concessions, which I appreciate. We're getting down to Atlanta. Luke's going to be on the backfields at Owings Mills all week long. All of the updates up there for you in the buyatoyota.com audio vault 24 hours a day. Listen to what you want, when you want, where you want. We got Orioles talk, Terps talk. We're going to be doing the Terps thing on Wednesday night up at Buffalo Wild Wings. In Bel Air, we'll be watching the Terps and the Who's and the $2.50 pints. It's $2.50 pints, I should say. And happy hour pricing at Buffalo Wild Wings at the festival in Bel Air. I am Nestor. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. Facebook, at Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook, as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.